In his interview on Sky tonight with Nigel Farage from GB News, Donald Trump said Prince Harry could also be in trouble. When Harry and Meghan Markle moved to the US, you see, Harry had to fill in visa forms that ask, well, have you ever taken drugs? And you can get banned from entering the country if you say yes. Did Harry lie? Because as Harry actually admitted last year in his autobiography, Spare, he's actually taken cocaine, marijuana, magic mushrooms, and Trump was asked about that by Nigel Farage.
If he's lied on his visa form, doesn't the truth need to come out?
We'll have
should he get special privileges that nobody else does?
No, and we'll have to see if they know something about the drugs, and if he lied, he'll have to take appropriate action.
Appropriate action?
Yeah.
Which might mean not staying in
I
America.
don't know. You'll have to tell me.
Joining me from London is Patrick Christys, star presenter on GB News as well as Nigel Farage. Patrick, how much trouble is Prince Harry in, do you think?
Well, he's potentially in a world of trouble, actually, isn't he, really? Because if he has lied about his drug use on his visa form, then, frankly, we'll have to be treated like everybody else. I would quite like to see these visa forms, because I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out he filled it out in crayon and Meghan stuck it on the fridge for a couple of weeks before they submitted it. He used to have people filling out these forms for him when he was a member of the royal family, so he could have lent on that. But this time now, it looks as though he's been left to his own devices and may well have lied. The only issue is that we don't really want him back. But I was thinking that maybe we could come up with some kind of swap deal for Donald Trump. They can take back all of the Americans that we have shouting on public transport and in restaurants over here, and we will have Prince Harry, but they have to keep Meghan Markle. That would, I think, be a fair swap deal for us. But Prince Harry would come back. He would also come back with a fatwa on his head because of the other stuff he put in Spare about how many members of the Taliban he killed. So all in all, that book has got him into a heck of a lot of trouble.
I suspect so, although I must say it's like with Kevin Rudd. Trump didn't say he wouldn't deal with Kevin Rudd. He didn't actually say he would throw out Prince Harry, but it would be very interesting to know if Harry lied. And as you say, if he did. Meanwhile, more drama about another royal, Catherine, Princess of Wales, more media hoo-ha that she apparently photoshopped tiny details of this wonderful picture of the late Queen with the great-grandchildren. I mean, seriously, does anyone care? But more serious is that staff at the hospital where Catherine had abdominal surgery for some undisclosed issue actually tried to access her private medical records. I tell you, Patrick, all this must be getting too much for the poor woman.
Yeah, absolutely. No, really shocking news, this, about the idea that somebody who's unauthorised are trying to access her medical records and presumably sell them off to the highest bidder. It harks back to the really bad old days as well of journalism in this country, and also as well, you know, kind of investigative stuff that used to go on at hospitals. They are launching an investigation. One thing I will say, though, Andrew, is that this has been an absolute PR disaster, not caused by Kate, but for whoever the Muppets are that are advising them or doing their media. You know, the Photoshop picture is one thing, creating a vacuum after vacuum after vacuum, a couple of other mysterious pictures. Then we've got this video of them at a farm shop that emerged that was filmed on someone's phone, again sold off to the highest bidder. Anyone could have done anything with that. They have completely lost control of the PR of our future king and queen during their greatest hours of need. And I think when the dust settles on this, they will have to really consider whether or not the people that they've got around them advising them have been doing a good job, because they've got enough on, all right? And she obviously is very unwell, and the last thing they need is situations like this taking place at the moment.
I don't know why they just didn't auction off the original untouched photo for charity, make a joke of it and a good cause of it, and that would end that. But Patrick, good news. I think we're now past peak woke. Common sense might be becoming more common. Maybe I'm a dreamer. I'm a huge James Bond fan, the films and books. Couldn't believe that the next James Bond, after Pierce Brosnan and after him Daniel Craig, could even be a woman, some said, or a black man, or even a black woman. In fact, in the last film, there was a black woman briefly taking over as 007. We're now told by The Sun it looks like being British actor Aaron Taylor-Johnson, although the BBC says that's not true. Patrick, he looks quite all right in a way, but not quite right, does he?
Well, I suppose you can work wonders, can't you, in the film industry? I think the BBC say it's not true because they don't want it to be true. We all know who the BBC, I'm sure, would want to have as James Bond, and that is Dylan. That is Dylan Mulvaney, OK? It's time to have Dylan Mulvaney as James Bond. No, look, shock horror, OK? James Bond is a straight white male. Don't mess with Bond. Bond is a hunky man, a bit of a womanizer who shoots bad guys. He is not an electric car driving, pink hat wearing vegan.
He's a Scottish
just leave Bond
orphan.
alone.
Leave him alone, Patrick. Leave him alone. Absolutely. That's it from me. Thank you for your time. That's it from me. Up next this